those are her sisters. So I want you guys to shake your tambourine right now. Okay?
Yes, so we can get active in here this evening.
Tammy has been with us probably, I don't know, maybe like 10 years or so. She's an old girl now. But she's here just kind of exciting. People say great things. We want to let people, get that energy. And I think it's always a good thing when you can do that. And so each one of these, what we wanted to do was do for you guys in person, it'll be like a longer version of a podcast. But then we're going to cut it up into smaller versions based on these speakers that are here. And we wanted to make sure also one of the things with self-help was that we also spotlighted at least one self-help client every time that we do this because, one of the things is with small businesses, I always say they just don't get enough shine. And I think that there's enough celebrities out here that get enough shine, but some of our everyday people don't get enough shine. One of the things that I'm very passionate about is really just making sure that with our membership, that we look at three things, which is money, marketing, and mental wealth. And so everything that we do centers around those three things because to me, those are the things that are the most important for business. So I'm not here to say that I'm going to give you the money, okay? That's not going to happen. But I'm just honest, right? Like I'm not going to give you money. However, getting you access to the people that can, provide the resources that you need, and then, things that you may not know that help you with your money. So, for instance, we have a thing that's coming up with the Department of Revenue because taxes are a real thing. And so we like to look at money from different perspectives. We did a thing with workforce development because hiring people is a thing that helps you in order for you to make more money because you're building capacity. So we like to look at different things that we can do in order to be able to enhance the community and do things statewide. So with that, I just want to say, I hope you guys have a great evening. And because we have a smaller audience, then we probably will have a little bit of time for questions as well. So that always works out really well when you do have that opportunity. Now, I want to introduce, and I had a whole thing, and I was just like, you know what? I love to just talk more about experience than just to read a bio. And I think that a bio definitely tells you all the accolades, but I don't really think about bringing people on or in, and so you understand what I mean with that, unless I really like the things that they're doing. So we had an application, and this lady though, when she filled out her application, I was like, yes, approved immediately, okay? And so one of the biggest things is I always think that, whenever you're looking at doing business, I think that you should find other people that inspire you in different ways. And even if they're working in your same area, everybody has something else that they can give, and it's more than enough money that's out here for everybody. And so this lady that's coming up, Dion, DGG, she's coming up because she's also been able to do some powerful things in transitioning from employee to entrepreneur, but then also in Eastern North Carolina doing some things. So we want to talk a little bit about those things and get you just acclimated. If there's something that you don't know, then hopefully we can reveal those things, not too much, but just enough, all right? So put your hands together and you can't bring, whichever one you want to do. Come on up here, girl. Yeah. Come on in, get on in. All right, so make sure you turn it on. Oh, you are. You should have known unless I just turn you off. Okay. Oh, yeah, you want to hear. Yay. No, I love it because I think that, you know how you transition in location, right? Oh, we also need to. So one of the things is, I thought you lived further out east when I first moved here. So when you said, well, girl, I'm right up the street, and then you're in Garner, right? I was like, oh, girl, because I really thought you were like all the way out east. And I think that to me, that was a good thing. I was like, oh, well, she's closer, right? So that's good. But I'm going to be honest, we have not had as much time to chit chat and we see each other at events, right? But we still need to like get together. Okay,
This might be the longest conversation that we've had this year, and y'all can careful. So you know.
Because let me tell you something, we are always doing fire B. I'm just like, okay, well, she's over there. Well, and I think that it's an interesting thing because everybody can't do that, right?
Right.
Everybody can't be in different rooms. Everybody can't multitask and do things the way that I think that that you're doing with that. So there's a lot of mediocrity out there, and that's not you in any way, shape, or form. Okay. All right.
I received that. It's a hard wall, but I received it.
Yes. Okay. So first, let's start off with why did you even leave corporate in the first place?
Ooh, great question. Honestly,
Okay.
I already told people this is the uncut
Yeah.
podcast. Okay, so we're giving it to you uncut. So, burnout, 60, 70 hours a week, 25 years of corporate experience. And I found myself at a place of just wanting to grow and scale and make it climb this corporate ladder, right? So I thought that's what I wanted. And once I did get it, I was like, oh my God, what have I got myself into? Because it was never ending, right? And it was always what I call chicken little. It's always a fire drill, the sky's falling, the sky's falling. And I was the only one that could fix the sky, right? So yeah, and so I would get these calls, I'm sorry, you got to bother you while you're on vacation. But can you fix, no, you can't be that bothered. Right?
Exactly.
And so I was like, we have to put an end to this. So, I'm only one sitting in the executive suite, and it was a long, hard, lonely walk. And I sat in my office one day, corner office. I was like, I have to do more to life than this. I want to do something that I'm passionate about, something that I love, and I've read my job. I made corporate America multi-billions of dollars. And I sat in my office and I said, I can do that for me. I know you just come over and make a cool video. I'd be cool. I'd be doing cool. Just a cool. Just a cool. Just a cool. Just a cool. And so I was running a proposal department for the industry, writing multi-billion-dollar proposals, water, gas, industry, you name it, right? And team of about 15, 20 people. And I just hit a wall. I hit a wall and I was like, this is not what I want. This is what I'm great at. But I was at a point in my life, I want to do what it is that I'm passionate about. And part of my passion is generational work. I don't want folks to have to do something just to make do. I want you to do what you love, right? And feel like work.
Now, how long was that transition from I'm burnt out, I'm tired, to I'm leaving?
For about 2 years.
Okay.
2 years, because once I realized I was burned out, now we got to put a plan, right? We got to put a plan together and we have to be strategic. I have to tell anyone to just quit their job. Okay? Y'all need to hit tambourine. Don't come out here and on this entrepreneurial journey and just say, you know what, I'm gonna be honest. I don't recommend it. I do not recommend it. And so when I knew that I was feeling faint, if you will, I was like, okay, we have to put a plan in place. I talked to my husband about it. I was like, the whole goal was to be debt free. Right? I said, so we had a family meeting and we still do to this day. Let's lay out what it is that we have and how we can do it. So I can exit stage left with ease. And so once we got to the point where we're debt free, yeah, it was great. It was great. Come on now, I gotta make sure. Listen, I should have worn my pants. Yeah, so you can do it differently if you plan for it, right? And so in doing so, that goes back to the generational wealth, and that freed me to be able to do what I wanted to do, because I just felt like at that point my employer was my investor. So if I'm debt free, I can save if I was not able to access. I got some grace to go out here and try some things and see what's gonna work. And if it don't work, I'm not stressed. You know what I mean? So yeah. And I have a gift. I like to bring gifts.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
I brought you a copy of my book,
Okay.
Finding Your Roar.
Okay.
As you know, they may not know, roar means to be relentless, optimistic, ambitious, and results driven. It tells you the story and why.
Okay, well, thank you. Look at that. I love that, because let me tell you, transition, because my question was gonna be, for you to explain where ROAR came from in the first place, because I love a good acronym.
Oh, yeah.
And the branding is definitely there. So where did ROAR come from? Just, when you decided, okay, this is how I'm gonna brand myself.
I honestly felt like I was Daniel in the lion's den when I was Yeah,
Okay.
when I was in that space and I knew that I was supposed to be doing something else. And, it came full circle. I promise you, it came full circle. I felt like there was a roar in me. Like in corporate, I felt like there was a meow. And there was a lion that was trapped that I had to let get out, come out, right? And so we sitting, I never forget it, sitting in a meeting with our marketing team, working on the book cover. My daughter, you have to bring the linen to the book, okay? 'Cause they got fresh ideas, right? Don't leave them out. And so we're sitting in the meeting trying to figure out what we're gonna do with the book cover, right? We already have the theme on the line and all the things, right? And my daughter said, wouldn't it be amazing if he, shout out to Division, if he can morph your face, have lion, have your face. She said, you remember face off? I said, face off, like one of my favorite poems. I remember Face Off.
Okay.
So listen, so to all our marketers and creatives, I'm thinking it's crazy to do, right? He's not gonna be able to do it. He's sitting at the other end of the table. I mean, he's just cool as a cucumber, right? I'm thinking a forward-facing picture. And I remember coming back, I was coming down 95 from South Carolina, and I got a text message from him, and I knew I couldn't open the text message on 95.
No.
Cause I knew what he was working on, right? I had to pull over. And when I pulled over and I opened that image, I hollered and I screamed, I said, that's it. That's it. That's it.
I love that.
That's it.
Now, let me ask you this. So with the initiative that you have that is out east, I like the fact that you essentially built a woman coalition, right? And then this way you were able, because a lot of times people say, well, women can't work together. Sometimes they will also say, well, Black women can't work together. And it is multiple Black women working together to help other women. So what even brought that about, and then how is that working out?
Couple of three things. First, let me say, I admire the work that you do, the energy that you bring, because she's just everywhere, right? I thought I was everywhere. She's just everywhere. Like, and we cross paths sometimes, and this is the longest conversation that we've ever had because we're always moving, right? But to give you some backstory to the Eastern North Carolina, and she thought because of the Eastern North Carolina Entrepreneur Promise Program that I used to run and I designed, that I lived in Eastern North Carolina. I know. However, I am from Eastern North Carolina, and I have a passion for Eastern North Carolina because I know some talented, amazing, gifted, smart business owners that don't have access to everything that we have access to other side of Memphis, right? And so when one of my clients came to me that had funding available to design a cohort for Eastern North Carolina, and I thought, in the meeting, because they knew me from the Raleigh area, right? They said, why are you laughing? I said, you know what I'm saying? They're like, hear me, I'm probably a year or so out of corporate, right? PMP certified, so I easily breathe cohorts and programs and whatnot. And they said, no, I thought you were from Raleigh. I said, no, I am from the metropolis of Washington, North Carolina. Metropolis, the metropolis of Washington, North Carolina. I gotta give it credit, right? And at the end of the she was laughing. Look, shout out to Elder. Listen, the metropolis of Washington, North Carolina, and with it, I said this program has my entire name, right? Like I'm like, this is me. Let's do it. And we ran it for 5.5 years. 5.5 years, providing technical assistance, coaching, mentoring, and I know we're streaming. Y'all better not tell nobody this, okay? Get your tambourine. Shh. Yeah, shh. Don't tell nobody. The very first cohort, when we got ready to close it out, when I saw these people come in green with no foundation, no blueprint, no model, we covered marketing, sales, leadership, legal, all the things, right? 10 weeks. First cohort, we get ready to graduate, I had to turn my camera off. I was a bucket of water, and I'm nobody's problem. I was so emotional because I saw them come in scared to death, and I watched them graduate totally different people with confidence, a plan, a blueprint, a strategy. That right there was when I knew. I said, well, I leave corporate America years ago. I was supposed to be doing this a long time ago.
so I had a conversation yesterday with, one of my business besties, Tasha. Yeah,
Oh, LPG.
okay,
Yeah.
no. And I said, you know, one thing that I love, like, and I don't know, I guess it's just intrinsically inside of me, I like to see people happy. And I'm like, you know, my biggest thing is when they come to an event, they say, oh, I loved it, or, you know, they got a session and they loved it, or, you know, whatever it is, I'm just like, and it doesn't have to be that I was necessarily in charge of a thing, but I do like it when it's a connection. And
Yeah.
so I'm like, when it's one of my friends and, you know, I so, what was it, in Greensboro, I have one like, what was it, Small Business Advocate of the Year. And then my friend won it after me. And I was just like, I'm sitting there and I'm just crying. And she was like, are you crying? And I'm like, yes, I'm crying.
Right.
And she was like, why are you crying? Because now I'm crying. And I'm like, but the thing is that I think when you're genuinely happy for people and there's no jealousy or hate or animosity, I think that it exudes and you can do that. And I think you can also be proud of the work that you did because there is a transformation. I'm gonna be honest, I've never really cared for folks. Okay. And I'm gonna tell you why, because I think that I need to learn what I need to learn today. You know, I mean, so
Going somewhere.
teach me one thing, let me learn that, let me apply it. But then we just went through a cohort last year with City of Durham. And I was like, oh God, this is a whole year. We gotta do this, and it's every month. And when I tell you, it definitely improved the things in our business. And I'm just gonna say the things that, you know, I think that everybody didn't finish. And I think that sometimes when a person gives you an opportunity, that if you are willing to take it and invest the time, then that's where the transformation happens. Because there's always somebody that starts and just never finishes.
Right.
And so, you know, not only finishing, but, you know, we also won, okay, because it was like an RFP competition. And our presentation was amazing. So, you know, I mean, yeah. There. But I think that, you know, some people didn't take it seriously.
Right.
So the people that didn't take it seriously, their presentations were a little bit lackluster. Now, there were some great presentations, so I'm not even gonna act like it wasn't. But there were people who didn't want to participate because they said they had real life things to do. And so, you know, when you encounter people that put that effort in and understand that, you know, this cohort's for you,
Right.
then that to me is a reason for you to keep on going. And does that like give you extra motivation to do more things?
You just tapped on so many things. I'm trying to rewind it back.
Okay.
Let me answer the part about women in the coalition, right? So I work with a group of women. We came together to do amazing work in Eastern North Carolina. And we were all doing our own thing in our own way, right? And we cheering each other on, so we can all celebrate each other, as you're saying, right? And there's enough for everyone. And so we all brought our own level of subject matter expertise to the group, to the coalition, the ENC coalition, and we work very well, right? So it's not one person trying to do the same thing that someone else is doing, and I never want to do what someone else is doing, right? I'm gonna be the best me that I can be on any given day, right? Any given day.
Not just Sunday.
Right, and my parameters are set, so like if there is a group, then I'm working with other people. And you said my voice is strong, it is, and sometimes it intimidates people, so I try to, it's just, I feel like, I can't help it, but the work matters, right? And if there's ever a time that somebody feels a certain way, let's talk about it, we can't go there. We can't go there because this is community work, right? I said, so anything you need to discuss, put it out on the table, because this is a partnership. And we understand we are united friends. In the community, behind the scenes, all the things, right? And so each of us have a footprint, if you will, in different parts of Eastern North Carolina. But to your point, the cohort, I'm gonna tell you how we got the cohort. The cohort started initially because I started doing mentorship and individual coaching when I transitioned out of corporate America. And by Friday, I had said the same thing 20 times to 20 different people.
Oh, my goodness.
You understand?
Yes,
So
I
I was burned out. Again, I said, ooh, this is starting to feel familiar. It's starting to feel like corporate again, right? And so I was like, no, there has to be another way. There has to be another model. What everyone was asking me.
Mhm.
You know, I need help with my contract. I need help with my marketing and branding. I need help with, you know, leading a team, you know, how to grow and scale, what my revenue needs to look like. I need bookkeeping. Da, da, da. I'm like, these are the cohort modules, and we can do this one time, 2 to 20 people.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's where the cohort model came from, and I was like, oh, I got my life.
Mhm.
Okay, and so to your point, seeing our entrepreneurs grow and scale is rewarding to me, right? Which is why we both
Definitely.
cry. But at the end of the day, what I will say is there are some that sign up for things and they don't finish. But I want to say this, what the camera, be looking at the camera, where the camera is. I want to say this to all that watch. If you're going to sign up, register for a cohort, an event, all things, and especially if it's at no cost to you or a subsidized cost, I need you to be all in. Okay? Because even though you may not be paying, someone is paying and thinks enough of you to put up the capital to see your business grow and scale. So if the requirement is 8 weeks, 10 weeks, show up. Camera's on, engaged, do the work, and complete the work, because it's gonna only make you better. So it bothers me to see folks sign up and then they're halfway. It does.
We can stop this whole.
To you, I've got $5,000 for you to be a part of this program, and the program is 8 weeks, and you know you don't have $5,000 on your own. Like literally part of our program was everyone was able to have a website. And I'm not talking about the big. Yeah, I'm talking about my own website designer, 6-figure website. And I've always told everyone in our cohort, I need you to make money while you sleep. That's my Curtis Jackson 50 cent money for all of them. That's just
I promise you.
He's a genius. He might be a little crazy, but he's a genius. Listen, for real. So I like, because in Eastern North Carolina, a lot of times people will say, I can do a website. And you understand?
Yeah.
So that was one of my things for my client. I was like, we're gonna do this cohort, we need to find a sponsor that can take care of your website. And they looked at me like, you want us to do what? I said, there's no way that I can sign on to be the program director unless we have some website funding. I said, otherwise, we have 8-10 weeks worth of content that we're going to teach, coach, and mentor on, and they have no way to generate revenue. They just walk around with information in their head,
Yeah.
and they can't capture profit. It's pointless. I said, I can't put my name on it. I can't. So I said, this is what I need. I need you to go find a sponsor that can take care of the website. When you find a sponsor, then I can. Okay? So come back. And so they came back and said, damn, we gotta meet with you. We found what we were looking for. So we found a sponsor to take care of the website. I'm on the phone like, oh, you would have thought I was getting the website.
Yeah.
I was so happy because if we're giving you the subject matter expertise, the coaching, the mentoring, the office hours, and you don't have a way to generate the revenue off of what it is that you learned, and I wasted your time. Man.
I'm telling you, it's like, I think of, I'm gonna just keep it where I was gonna go, about to go in a different direction. But no, I think that, there was a conversation, and this was during COVID time. And one person said to me, well, why do you do what you do? And I was just, and it was like a question. They kept asking me a bunch of different questions in regards to us. And I was just like, well, one thing about me is I like to look. Okay, it's just gonna be what it is. If we looking bad, we're gonna be in the house. Okay? We just don't do that. If we're gonna step out, we're gonna step out. Okay? And I said, but it's not just that. I want everybody that's around me to look good and feel good. And I do think that, you can go through anxiety, depression, money problem, whatever the thing is, but sometimes just looking good can make a difference, right? And when you look in the mirror, you're seeing a reflection of who you really want to see. And I think that to me is the same thing that you're saying, because you know your stuff looks good, so why shouldn't everybody else's things look good? And so like it was interesting. I saw I'm gonna go back over, but I figured out in my mind how to say it better, because the first iteration of what I was gonna say was gonna be a little bit. But I saw somebody, and they were promoting, you know, like members, right, from an organization, and I was like, okay. And one of the things was a photographer, and the picture of the photographer looked terrible. And I was just like, now if the photographer looks terrible, why would I want to come get pictures from this photographer? And I'm not saying that, you know, you have to be glam squad out or anything. I'm just saying the picture of the photographer, the picture looked terrible. Then the photographer looked terrible in the picture. And I was just like, that doesn't give me confidence to spend money, you know, with you. So if you can instill in people that the brand does matter, that, you know, those things matter. And I remember it was years and years ago, and this is why I didn't like the cohorts. When we first started, so this is going back to 2000, and, I don't know, maybe 2007, somewhere in there. And we were in a cohort at A&T. And it was one of the best things I ever was a part of. And one of the young ladies just didn't understand. She's like, well, I can do what I want to do with my business. And I'm like, but you're saying your business is this way. And then everybody looked at this little brown dress, right? And it was just one of those things where, and it was the drinking, and it was the such and such. And I'm not trying to, you know, be critical of people, but I am saying when you are a small business, people pay attention to the things that you put out. And so that's where I want to shift us to, is even in the marketing portion, as far as the content that goes out. If you're doing something that's totally, completely against what you say your business is on the weekend, then I don't know if I can really trust your business. So, you know, and let me tell you something about Dion, right? Because Dion does something that I don't do. Dion will put them pictures out immediately. My pictures, y'all not gonna see. I got pictures from last year that y'all could have not seen. Okay? And I'm gonna be honest, because I'm just like, you know, but Dion, I'm like, oh, she did something else, right? And but you put your pictures out immediately.
That's my team.
You do not.
Some stuff that y'all haven't seen either. I'm notorious. So yeah, my team stays on me like you just did an event yesterday. Can you send us the pictures? I'll be walking around and putting it in my phone for weeks.
Yeah, see, but you know what? I think sometimes I like to hold on to things because I don't know. I think it's just, is it being old school where I like to feel like, let me reflect on the moment, as opposed to I gotta put everything out immediately. I've said this multiple times, like, okay, I was just there. I mean, do I need to see that I was just there?
Exactly.
And I mean, I'm not saying it from a negative standpoint, but I'm saying you do what I don't do. You be like, yeah, I was just at this thing, here I am, and you put it up.
And
And
why? Because I can hear my folks in my ear. Get us some footage. Because, and my thing is, if I'm here, I want to be in the moment.
Yeah.
I want to enjoy the moment. It could be the event probably halfway over. And they're like, well, I can take one picture. I don't have no video. I have no video. I have nothing. They're like, let me get something.
Yeah.
Right? Or somebody will be there and record and send it to me. But I'm gonna save in my life. Where I want to enjoy the moment. So, absolutely. So when I in my Monday meeting, be like, okay, you did 2 events. I have nothing. But I have nothing to post. I can hear them while I'm out. Then I took a picture when we first came.
Yeah, she did. She was like, let me get this picture real quick before we start this thing.
I have a meeting every Monday morning at 8:30 with my team. So it's like, okay, this is what we're doing. Okay, I'm gonna need some of this. I'm gonna need a little bit of that. So I hear them. But I have literally gone to multiple events and come back crickets, nothing. Like the event didn't even.
Oh no, but see, I would take a picture now. But it's just like sometimes I don't want to post it immediately, and then for us, it might be another event tomorrow.
Right.
So I'm like, well, if I post this in the things tomorrow, then let me think about when I strategically. No, I do. That's the gap. I'm telling you, from last year. It's gaps for sure. But no, but I also think like sometimes I hold things because I think when I post them later on, it to me sometimes has more meaning. You know what I mean? Because I've seen a lot of people where they post their stuff immediately and everybody at the event is posting immediately.
Mhm.
So you're getting different perspectives, but like everybody's posting about the same thing. I feel like sometimes you hold on to it and then it's like, put it out there right now. Like I got some stuff that we did early in January, right? She's not going out till next month. Like I've already made that
It's late
decision.
gratification,
Yeah.
she got you already now.
But because it's so many things that happen,
No, I
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's one of the things, but when people are, talk about just quickly, like, you know, the branding and how important you feel that is in relation to how people view you.
I feel like, and if you follow, if you watch, and paying attention, you see, right? It's crucial. It's crucial, and hence the book cover, all the things, so all things lion, when people see the lion, they say, if I scroll past the name and I see a lion, I know whose content it is, I don't have to scroll back up to see the name, because I know what it is, right? So I am a stickler for that from a marketing and branding standpoint, business wise. I am a stickler for how we come out and ourselves as well. So it's a full circle, right? And even when I am running cohorts, accelerators, and all the things, if you're a business owner, I want you to look like a business owner. Okay? I need you to come out and put it on, right? And represent your business, your team, the community, all the things. And a lot of times we don't, right? And a lot of times we do, right? And so I just think it's important to the content, to your point. People do business with those they know, like, and trust. And those, that trust part comes into how you represent yourself, your business, your brand. So it's just who I am. That's how I'm built, and I can't help it. My team knows it as well, and I'll tell them, quick, I'm like that. We're not hosting that.
Not today.
But yeah, and to your accelerator part, now we're in a climate where I tell folks outside is different. Is it not, right? Outside is different, the economy is different, and so we have to move differently. And so what we are doing now is focusing on our VIP day. And the VIP day, what you talking about? Tell me what I can, yes, she's been a part. I mean, yeah, tell me what I need to know right now today that's gonna help me generate some revenue and make a profit. I don't have 8 weeks. I don't have 10 weeks. I needed to know how to make this money last year because the economy is doing
Oh,
something
no.
right. So yeah, so now we're focused on the VIP days, and for those that can't come to a 6-hour, 8-hour implementation, it's one of those, bring your laptop, bring your power cord, we're implementing in the room. It's not talking head and taking a whole bunch of notes. I'm walking the room. I'm making sure that you're building what you need to be building. So focus is, as I just said, but the sales piece and the marketing, creating multi-million-dollar proposals. That's the piece that small business don't know how to do. So we're not waiting on a RFP to come out and over same RFP, and you still might not get it, right?
Child, yes.
Right. So we are teaching and creating and implementing the revenue stream for small business owners to create their own proposal. And let's cast this net in this small pond over here and this big old ocean where everybody, right? And that way you keep the pipeline full. And that has been extremely successful because the pipeline is different. So people don't have teams.
No,
Right.
and they don't, and I mean, I think it's different learning for different people
Absolutely.
and also different seasons, because when you are ready to see certain things, then, you know, it can be, you know, really impactful for you. So if you have your word or phrase of the year for 2026.
Oh, you want some wrong, like, we're doing that all year. We're doing that all year. We're doing that every year. So my words relate to the acronym, which is to be relentless, optimistic, ambitious, and results driven in business. At this point, I'm also in life because we all dealing with something, right? And I just feel like from a mental health standpoint, we all need to be in some type of therapy because every time we turn on the news, it's something, something different, right? So to manage it all, and one thing I'll say lastly is one of the things we don't talk about concerning business ownership, entrepreneurship is the mental health and well-being. We can make entrepreneurship glamorous. I'm gonna tell you, it's the good, the bad, and the ugly, and it's not glamorous every day. Okay, so don't feed the hype off of a post.
Okay. People making a lot of posts, honey, and it's a lot of zeros
Hello.
in the wrong direction.
Right.
Not the wrong,
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
But I mean, it does make a difference, and I want to thank you for taking time to talk with us today and to give some inspiration and bring in a gift. And I have a gift for you that relates to mental health. So it's your first, you get to choose.
Okay.
Now, hopefully you like this, because this is something that I like, but something that a lot of people like. So I try to give people choices. Do you like tea? Okay, good. All right, so since you're first, you get to choose. So A, rose and hibiscus. We also have one for sleep, a ginger peach, which I was thinking you wanted that one. I was picking that one for you. See, I knew that was the right one. And then we have chamomile lavender. See, I picked the ginger peach for you. See, that's what I picked if you
I
wanted.
used to live in Atlanta too.
Yeah. See,
And I
and
love
when
it.
I looked at it, I was like, I think this one's for Dion.
Yeah.
And then I said, but I'm gonna let her choose. Okay, yes. Thank you, we appreciate you.
Listen,
Okay.
last thing I'm gonna say is event coming up,
Mhm.
July, Roarcon 26,
Okay.
mark your calendar, okay? I need y'all to be in the building, all right? I'm excited about it. It is around workforce development, entrepreneurship, and also mental health and wellness for entrepreneurs and business levels. I need y'all to be.
Okay, when is it? Oh, we don't have that.
We don't have date yet. I can't put the date out yet.
Oh, okay.
So second week of July is for right now, so hold tight.
No, it is.
Okay.
I just. Okay.
Okay.
Y'all know, if anybody knows me, I know I love dates. I plan so far in advance.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to tell her something that was happening. I was like,
Yeah.
so this time, it's like,
Yeah.
so I was like, it's not the third. Okay, I just want to make sure it wasn't the same.
Oh, no.
Okay, all right. All right.
That's
Okay.
okay.
All right, okay,
Thank
good.
you, ma'am.
All right, so.
Thank you so much.
So like, like a 5-minute break, because I think the food is super hot in the background. So if y'all want to get something to eat, please get some food now. And then up next, we're gonna have Adrian. So you didn't even know, but the transition is going over to mental health. They know. Yeah. Okay, yeah, okay. You got it. Oh, my God. You got sign. I did put the sign out, but it fell. You stopped it? Oh, you stopped it, okay. Good. No, I put the big sign outside and it fell down, because I was trying to make sure people could see.
I was looking at.
Yeah, because I mean, when you come around, I figured you would see the thing. So. I'm gonna keep you on time. Okay, here, so your team. Okay.
I didn't say that. Usually you just get the ear to the ground.
Okay, cause that's why I wanted to just say, like, hold up.
Cause no, the reason I know, cause theirs is,
12 and 22.
I'm looking at nine.
Oh, so it's before. Yes, no, this was really good.
No, thank you.
But I knew it was gonna be easy. So I sent like those questions just, and then I'm like, I gotta pay attention to what's happening in real life. It just makes it much
It
more.
flows, it flows,
Yeah.
it flows.
That was really good though. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, we take a break.
Yeah, cause it wasn't scripted.
No.
You know, some people have.
No. I did. I'm like, what I'm thinking.
You see it.
It's better when it's unscripted.
Exactly. So. Did you make Yeah, I wish I Yeah. And our city thing is.
Oh, I need to put this back down.
Actually, about over to it.
Hey y'all, so if you're watching that, taking a little break right now, taking some of these wonderful chips that we have this evening. And we got a lovely little food spread. But you guys just stay tuned and we'll jump back in with Adrian in a few minutes.
No, I'm talking about what you do. Oh, it's wrong.
In the winter time.
I mean, we cut it. We cut it in the beginning of January. Oh, I'm scared.
If I stop cutting,
Yeah.
because then it's way back in the cut. Oh, I don't know.
As long as that's actually a service.
Oh, yeah.
How much? So it's not as bad. Okay, so I'm telling you, it's. You messing up the look. That's Natasha, not LaShawn.
Look, LBG.
They call us
LBG, doing like me.
You call her LBG?
I am like LBG, honey.
I don't even do what you.
I said my other life.
Yeah,
my if I heard something, but I told you to make, if I had, you know how they always take this off the timeline?
Okay.
I was gonna hit those things that's more.
By the time I say, yeah, I'm ready to shower.
Yes. And not to say you can still do that. I would do one, that would be my focus in those other. Like,
I love guacamole. I like guacamole.
Do you got it all and I do it?
And I literally probably just started eating it. And now my mom. Yeah, just sweet.
So that's what I'm like,
Leave it, okay, that's what
and I'm like, no, because I get joy out of it.
I'll just show you.
But I want to do that all the time. And as a.
Look, my eyes, right.
sad.
But I like,
It's
I
sad.
like, that's
You see
why
the sports with the
I-
Why?
Yeah, but you don't have to-
I'm about to get it.
So it's kind of like, if it tastes too
No.
different.
I guess
So I think he's looking at the real blackberries like, before he said, he was just like, what is this?
Oh.
It was funny because, I think it was only a cousin was like, well, and he was like, oh my God, this is good. Y'all got some alcohol? And I was like, no, there's no alcohol. Okay. Well, I don't have any Tito's, but you would like them with Tito's. So,
You got people in
yes. All right.
How you make like a Chipotle bowl.
Yeah. Those are, she said those are more savory, those are more sweet. But that's helpful to you.
Yeah, I like So with the rice, you put some salmon.
Right now.
So when did we do salmon last? When did we do salmon last? It is salmon or something.
I did yesterday.
We did it at, again, we did it.
No, I was just
But
saying,
salmon-
I was just saying that rice and get you some salmon to go with it.
You get you some salmon then, but. But yeah, no.
Oh, well.
You know, I changed up the signal. She loved rice in the morning just to be eating rice. Yes, I did. I know. That's what I said, with everything.
Yeah,
All right. Like we're gonna jump back in. It's 7:16 it was. Oh, yeah. You wanna get into a table?
What's that?
Yeah. Get into a table so you can eat.
Okay. I
You
want
know,
my
we're like it's a big thing. On the wall. It's like that. Just a holding
She
place.
said she's in the deaconess home.
Yeah, that was just a holding place.
Keep it touching, mouth.
I'm trying.
It's right.
Thank you. Yeah, if you need to say that, just do something like that, so. Because I'm not looking at it, right? I mean, we had it, but being really
Yeah,
happy,
yeah.
you know? Okay. I'm acting like this is a whole nother show, y'all ready?
Yeah.
Hi, good evening. Good morning, good afternoon, whenever you're watching. So we get to the People Podcast, and we are here with an amazing guest today, who just happens to be one of the amazing people that completed the self-help business training. And I got the privilege, come on, Tammy. I got the privilege of coming to the end, right? So I'm a part of the cohort training or anything. But we, as Give It to the People, get to be a part of this next, I guess we want to call it continue. Boost back there, in real life. So we just are back there helping people to really look at everything that they've been through with the program, but then also to hone in on their goals for this year. So what we've been doing is being able to provide alignment sessions and then also memberships to the Give It Get It business membership, as well as people have been coming to events. And so each one of these podcast episodes that we're doing, we're getting the opportunity to interview one of the business self-help trained people. And Adrienne Charleston just happens to be one of them. How are you today, Adrienne?
Hey, I'm good, how are you?
I'm marvelous. Okay, so we talked about mental wealth, like just mentioning it,
Yes,
but you are the person who can really help us with the mental wealth.
yes.
So can you talk about your business and what you do?
Okay, I am a psychologist licensed in North Carolina. I am a licensed psychological associate. The name of my company is Butterfly Flow Counseling.
I like the sound of it.
Oh, well, thank you, Butterfly Flow Counseling. And I do individual therapy groups, speaking, workshops, all that good stuff to help people get to.
Connected, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Now you have got to be one of the baddest therapists ever because if y'all can see, she is tatted on the wrist. Okay. I've never in my life. She has the butterfly on the wrist. Okay. Don't play with her.
It says butterfly flow. So if you look at it this way,
Uh-huh.
it says butterfly flow.
Yes.
Then when I turn it, it's facing me saying butterfly, because I need to know.
Don't do the mirror butterfly flow.
And then each wrist is butterfly.
Never ever seen that in my whole entire life. Okay. And then the nails, you know what I'm saying? Like she's just really giving. Okay, she had the earrings. So we talk about branding, but you are seriously like living embodiment of the brand.
Yes.
What made you even come up with Butterfly Flow in the first place?
Man, it was a whole mistake. So, so I'm a poet, so I write poetry, and I wrote a poem called Butterfly Flow, and then I was like, oh, I like it. So my first book is a book of poetry, and it's called Butterfly Flow. So, and then I started going out to events, and they started introducing me as Butterfly or Butterfly Flow, and so it kind of stuck.
Okay.
So by then, when I opened my business, I was like, Butterfly Flow was already everywhere. People already know me as Butterfly. So I went on with it. And just kept Butterfly Flow, trademarked it. Just-
Hello. So you have to do that. You know, we have to trademark up here too. We don't play with her.
Yeah, trademarked it, and we're good with that. But yes, it kind of found me. So things find you on purpose, I believe. So it found me.
Okay. How do you feel like poetry has helped your therapy life?
It helped me meet people where they are.
Mhm.
Because a lot of because I am a poet, a lot of poets come to me because they feel comfortable, because they feel that I can understand what they write and how they feel, and then be able to, because I give homework
Mhm.
and then they'll end up writing a poem. I was like, okay, I wanted you to journal, but poem is good, so we'll read that. So, but it helps them because I understand the creative space, and they like people who are able to understand them in different ways.
Mhm. Now, let me go with this because I said this and I posted it recently. So I know we did an interview with 97.1 with Renee Vaughn. And I said a lot of times in business, people are either really creative or they're definitely way more business focused. But sometimes there's a problem when people try to merge the two. Like the creatives tend to not be as business focused because they're so busy creating and they don't want to focus on the business side of things. And a lot of times with creatives, what happens is they want to just give everything away. And it's like, that's not business. That's not how we do things. So how do you relate to business owners or people who are on one side or the other and they're trying to merge the two?
For me, I feel I'm on both sides because I am a creative and a business owner, and I'm gonna just throw the tag. I'm a Gemini, so Gemini.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fishes. I said fishes, just in case.
Yeah.
Fishes.
because they're dual signs just like Gemini. A lot of people don't realize. So, being a dual, dual sign, our brains work differently. We have one that is creative and wants to do all the things like you were talking about earlier during the break. We talked about, and then you have the other one who is serious and organized and and so the way I do that is in therapy, I see where that person is, and then I bring them to where they want to be, not necessarily to where I want them to be, because it's not about me. So I talk to them and I bring them to where they want to be in their life with both of their, if they have it, because some people don't have creative. Some people don't want to be the business, but I do give people organized schedule, because these creatives can go way off. I'm like, no, you gotta pay bills. Like, so, yeah, you gotta eat, you gotta get your life together, so we get to a point where we can work together and I help them get to where they wanna be, so they can be productive for themselves.
Okay, all right. Now, when you're, and I asked you this question, so we had an amazing session, which I love, and I asked you, so why would I choose you over somebody else? And you gave such a great answer, which I really want you don't have to say it verbatim, because you just kind of pulled it in a little bit with what you were saying there. But that was one of my things, because if we're in business, it's like, okay, there's somebody else that does what you do, and it's just like, they're not me though, right? Like, so there's like this secret sauce part that goes to what you do, and there's something intrinsically attractive about you to someone else. And I mean, even in that same breath, you are, not attracted to somebody else because of whatever that thing may be, you know what I'm saying? And so that's why I'm like, if it's just too much, then you just don't really need to come over here, because I'm gonna be too much. Like, you just need to understand that that's what it's gonna be. But the too much is also in respect to helping your business grow, right? So it's not just about me, it's about how can we help you. So can you tell me, why should we choose you over somebody else?
Now, I do not remember.
It's okay. You want me to whisper in your ear?
But I would say choose me as your therapist, because I'm going to help you find you, help you work on you, and do things that are surrounding you and that you want for your life, without judgment, without telling you what to do, and without telling you where you need to be for yourself, because only you know that. And I can pull those answers out of you, because some people don't even realize they have the answers for their own life inside.
Yeah, you got all the little tambourine joints. I love it. Okay, so can you talk about your experience with the business train and how you feel like that helped you to grow, develop, sustain everything in your business?
I mean, I've been with the business train, I don't know, seems like years, but I know it hasn't been. But because I know before in the previous segment we talked about cohorts and all, like they have the cohorts, they have the groups, they have the meetings. And I've been front row, virtual, on time, at everything that I can be at, because it's free to me. Yeah, it's free to me, but it was paid for by somebody else. And one thing I'm not gonna do is waste somebody else's money.
Come on. I need food.
Yeah, so. Take all of it. But the thing is, a lot of people don't think that. People in this world, they think because I don't have to pay for it, it has no value. But the fact that it's given to me, that's the value for me. So what they've given me, they rebuilt my website. I'm in a cohort now where I am learning so much about business and clients and how to put my website to work. How to because my son does my marketing, so how to talk to my son as to what needs to be marketed and what he needs to post, what it's supposed to look like. And I've not had that before. Before I was just like, oh, post something. So we can get it out. But they've given me so much and they've introduced me to you. So I would say the business train has been a wonderful thing for me since I've been in business on my own. For at least for this past year has been wonderful and showing me, and they continue to give
Mhm.
with, you know, and I say you always get out of stuff what you put into it. So if you put in nothing, you're getting nothing.
Mhm.
But I'm putting in everything that I had. I show up sometimes in pajamas, but I'm gonna show up.
Well, if it's online, that's okay.
Yes.
That's not a problem.
Yes,
Okay, don't come
absolutely.
out the house.
Also on a t-shirt.
I don't know, but there are some cute pajamas out there right now, so
Absolutely.
you might could do it.
Get the right one, they look like you got. a
They
t-shirt.
do, they do.
So, yes.
So from our alignment session that we did together, all right, because she was smiling at the end. But how did you, so what I, just so you guys know, so I sent a list of questions for them to answer so that this way it would be more reflective, you know what I mean? Because, I mean, my job to me is to tell you, once you tell me what you need, to give you those resources so you can go after those things. And you can do what you want to do, or you could just not do anything if you wanted to. But if you go after the resources and I give you specific things to really answer that problem, which is kind of like what we were talking about before, when it's like, give me the one thing that I need right now, as opposed to I can't wait for all the rest of that. So how did that help you specifically?
Our talk helped me because it helped me hone in on exactly what I needed to do and how to do it.
Mhm.
So like the classes have talked about what I needed to do, but after talking to you, it was like, this is how you do it. And I was like, okay, I got it. So you helped me like pull the trigger more so on getting started on a lot of stuff.
Now, I'm gonna ask her, I'm about to put her on the spot real
Okay.
quickly. So she was just discussing the things that she was doing, and I said, I need you to have a signature talk. Have you worked on a signature talk?
I absolutely am working on it. I have it written down, me and somebody else in the room.
Uh-huh.
We worked on some titles and stuff. So yes.
Okay, because I think that, you know, one of the things when we talk about like multiple streams of income, specifically in therapy, she can't go over a certain amount, but that's because of insurance, right? So then that means that's gonna cap her. So one of our questions was about, you know, funding and what do you wanna do and money and stuff. And so if you're gonna increase money and you're gonna scale, that looks different for different people. So her speaking was one of the things that she wanted to do. So I'm like, well, you know, based on what you do, let's have a signature talk that goes along with that, because you might end up making more money as a speaker than you do as your actual therapist. So if you can develop something along those lines and then look for specific things that fit into your niche to be able to speak at, that can be something that can be, you know, really great. And then that means that it can bring an influx of clients, but it could also set you up as a speaker, you know what I mean? Like, so that this way is its own entity separate from what you do with the therapy, and just hopefully you never get burnt out. But it is a lot taking on other people's energy, you know? So my question to you would be, what do you do to decompress when you have had a client that, you know, it was a lot, whether it was stressful or whether it was, you know, empathy and you felt for them, and what do you do to decompress?
I'm a little different. I don't recommend this for people. I've been able to compartmentalize in a healthy way.
Mhm.
I'm gonna say it that way, because some people compartmentalize and then they just try to throw stuff away. But something like when that door shuts, that computer shuts off, and that thing stops, I'm done. With that person for that day. I'll go back, do the note, but I do that intentionally, because if I don't, I don't want to take them with me to bed or out, you know, for the next client or for the next thing. Every now and then something will get to me and I will work through and say no. Like I talk to myself, like, no, you can't.
Oh, I definitely talk to myself.
Yeah, you can't come. I
She
can't
gets all kinds
take
of crazy stuff.
Yeah, so I have my other person talk to that person, say no, push them over there until the next time we see them.
That's the other half of
We
the
can,
shit.